Welcome to The Deep Dive. This is where we take the sources you send us, unpack them, and hopefully give you that aha moment without all the noise. Today, we're diving into something, well, almost everyone encounters. Dietary supplements. You hear it constantly, right? That you're probably missing something, that maybe this pill or that powder is the key. But what if that whole idea is, well, mostly wrong? Our mission today is to really unpack the science, the reality behind these claims based on the source you shared.
Yeah, and we're going right for the core idea, based on Dr. David Series at Columbia. Basically, he says for most healthy folks eating a reasonably balanced diet, supplements just don't have any proven benefit. That's quite a statement, isn't it? Cuts through a lot of the marketing hype.
It really does. And look, for many of you listening, maybe the idea that supplements aren't essential isn't brand new, but hearing it stated so clearly, no proven benefit for most healthy people, from someone like Dr. Series, that still hits differently, I think. It makes you ask, okay, if that's the science, why are so many of us still taking them? What's going on here?
It's a huge gap, isn't it? Dr. Series points out this major disconnect. A lot of people just, well, they don't know about the lack of solid science behind so many products. And crucially, the almost total lack of real oversight for the industry itself. I mean, it's natural to want some control over your health, look for an easy fix, but usually a supplement, isn't it?
And the numbers you mentioned from the source, they really highlight this disconnect. Get this, 80% of Americans take supplements, 80. But fewer than 10% actually have a deficiency that needs correcting. That's a massive gap. How is that even possible? What's broken in the system that allows this?
Well, that gets us into what's often called the Wild West of supplement regulation. Things really changed back in 1994. Basically, the US government said companies could make these broad claims, things like supports heart health or boosts immunity. Vague stuff. And they don't have to prove it works before selling it. Now, they can't claim to treat or prevent a specific disease unless they've done serious testing and published it. But those general health claims,
much looser. Okay, so they can make these vague structure and function claims. How many of these supplements then? I mean, you said there are tens of thousands have actually been properly tested. And what does that mean for us if we're taking extra stuff we don't even need?
That's the kicker. Estimates are around 80,000 supplements out there now. Most have not been tested for effectiveness or even safety in the way drugs are. And Dr. Sears really emphasizes this. These vague claims, they confuse people. If you're not deficient, taking extra might just be useless, a waste of money. Or worse, it could actually be harmful. Look at the FDA data between 2004 and 2013, over 15,000 reports of health problems linked to supplements. That included 339 deaths, nearly 4,000 hospitalizations, and that was years ago. The market's only gotten bigger.
Wow, 15,000 reports, deaths, hospitalizations. That's genuinely alarming. It just shatters the idea that these things are automatically safe because they're natural or sold over the counter. So where is the FDA in all this? Where's the oversight?
Right, that's the core issue. Unlike prescription meds, supplements don't get tested before they go on sale. Oversight really only kicks in, as Dr. Sears puts it, when something bad happens. He calls it a slow and backwards way of enforcing public safety, which, seems accurate. And attempts to fix this, even just to get companies to list what they're selling with the FDA, like the Dietary Supplement Listing Act of 2022, they keep failing. It shows you how resistant the system is to even basic transparency.
Okay, so it's not just about maybe wasting your money on something that doesn't work. This Wild West situation, as you called it, can lead to actual serious harm. Let's talk about some specific examples.
Definitely. Because while Dr. Sears notes many supplements probably just do nothing, zero impact besides hitting your wallet, some are actively dangerous. Take green tea extract, for example. It's often pushed for weight loss. But these supplements contain highly concentrated doses, way more than you'd get from drinking tea. And there have been several documented cases of severe liver failure linked to high doses, even requiring liver transplants.
Liver failure from green tea extract. That's terrifying. What about products maybe more people recognize? Things heavily advertised.
Yeah, a really prominent example is Prevision, marketed heavily for memory improvement, right? Well, back in 2012, the FDA warned the manufacturer because they weren't reporting serious side effects like seizures. Then, fast forward to 2017, the FTC and the New York Attorney General actually charged them with false advertising. But, as Dr. Sears points out, these legal battles are slow, resources are limited. Meanwhile, the companies keep selling, keep making money. It's frustrating.
It sounds incredibly frustrating and, frankly, a bit scary for consumers. But we should pivot here because it's not all bad, right? There are situations where supplements are needed and helpful.
Oh, absolutely.
That's a critical point. We're not saying all supplements are bad for everyone. People with diagnosed deficiencies, like, say, iron deficiency anemia or vitamin D deficiency, or those with certain diseases that affect nutrient absorption, they often do need specific supplements. But, and this is key, that should come after a doctor's diagnosis, usually involving blood tests, not just guessing or because you read something online.
Okay, so diagnosis first from a doctor. That makes sense. If a doctor does say, okay, you need, say, vitamin D, how do you choose a good one?
Yeah.
In this messy market, is there anything reliable you can look for on the label?
Yes. Thankfully, there is one thing. It's the USP verified mark. USP stands for United States Pharmacopeal Convention. It's a voluntary program, but if a product has that mark, it means the manufacturer has actually submitted to rigorous checks. It's really the best indicator of quality control currently available to consumers.
USP verified mark.
Okay.
And what does that mark actually guarantee for you, the person buying it? It tells you several important things. One, what's on the label is actually in the bottle, in the amounts stated, which sounds basic, but isn't always the case. Two, it doesn't contain harmful levels of contaminants, things like heavy metals, pesticides, microbes. Three, it will break down properly in your body so you can actually absorb it. And four, it was made using good manufacturing practices, meaning clean facilities, controlled processes, consistency.
That's actually really helpful, USP verified. Good to know. So, putting it all together, if the risks are there and the benefits are often, well, not there for most healthy people, what's the real answer? Dr. Sears seems pretty clear it's not in a pill bottle.
Exactly. It comes back to the fundamentals. A balanced diet, that's still the most reliable, effective path to getting the nutrients you need. And the source reminds us, dietary guidelines aren't super rigid rules you have to follow perfectly. They're general goals. The advice is basically, do your best. Any improvement you make to your diet is an improvement.
Yeah, I liked that message from Dr. Sears, and he's got serious credentials, professor at Columbia, awards in nutrition education. That reassurance that any improvement is improvement. It takes some pressure off, you know? You don't need perfection, just progress.
Precisely. And if you are genuinely concerned about your diet, if you think it might be lacking, the best move isn't to grab a multivitamin off the shelf. It's to talk to a registered dietitian. They can give you personalized advice based on your actual needs, which is way more valuable.
Okay, so let's wrap this up. Key takeaways from this deep dive seem to be, for most of us who are generally healthy, supplements, probably unnecessary. And because of the lack of real regulation, potentially risky. If you do need one based on a doctor's advice, look for that USP verified mark. But the real foundation for health still comes down to trying your best with a balanced diet.
Right, and it really highlights how easily we can be swayed by marketing looking for that quick fix, maybe. Having this knowledge, really understanding it, helps you think more critically about all those health claims you see everywhere.
Absolutely. So here's the final thought for you to take away. Knowing all this, the complexity, the lack of oversight, the potential risks, how does it change your sense of personal responsibility when it comes to health information? How can you use this insight to make genuinely informed choices for yourself? What does feeling truly well-informed about supplements and nutrition mean to you now?